Hi campers, how are you doing? Right, let me just put this sexy wig cap on. Yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've not too long woken up. Well, it's 10 to 3 now here, UK time. Not long woken up, woke up at 2. I was watching lovely lady that's a good friend of mine, Chrissy Fink. She was doing the 100 layers of makeup challenge on TikTok. Absolutely crackers. Rather you than me, kid. That's all I can say. Well done on doing the challenge though. Flipping heck. I mean, her face was well and truly caked in foundation and lippy. Oh my god, no, it was not for me at all. So I won't be doing that challenge, full stop. I don't mind trying some challenges, but that just was like a huge no for me. Alright, let me just have a sip or two of coffee. I need to wake myself up a bit. I'm going to start with my primer in just a minute. Hope you're well, whoever's popping on. Yeah, I'm going to quickly start with this, my polyfiller, also known as the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. I really like this product. It's really, really nice and just really good on the skin. You know, you get some that feel bleh, but this is nice. I like it. Ciao from Italy. Italy. Hello. How are you? Hope you're well. Oh dear. I'm still waking up. I was awake till about 6 o'clock this morning, or maybe 7. No, it was 7 o'clock, 7 by the time I sort of attempted to catch some Zeds. I was watching a friend of mine doing this TikTok challenge, the 100 layers of makeup. Oh my god. So she had to put on, I'm ready for my afternoon nap. You're thinking of napping, I'm just waking up, I tell you. I need the old caffeine drip in my arm. That was weird. I mean, 100 layers. So it was like 100 layers of foundation. I'd never even heard of this TikTok challenge until my friend was like, I'm going to do a challenge, a TikTok challenge. And I was like, what the chuff? And it's like 100 layers of makeup. So 100 layers of foundation. So it'd be like foundation. Then it was baking powder. Well, setting, whatever powder she shoved on her face. And then lippy. 100 times. I mean, her mouth by the end of it was just like full of, because it was all starting to really jellify up and that. It was just bizarre. And Chrissy, think you're absolutely crackers, I tell you. But well done on doing the challenge. I'll give you that. I'm gonna stop putting my concealer on and shit. Yeah, I've got my sexy wig cap on, ready to rock and roll. Not sure which one I'm going to go with yet, out of the 5 that I have. I am hoping to order another one soon though. I've got my eye on a few. My wigs are all from Cashley's head shop. She's absolutely amazing. Do check her out on TikTok and Facebook. And she's on Instagram as well. She's everywhere, absolutely everywhere. She is amazing. The wigs are amazing. They're nice and affordable. A lot of wigs are like really, really expensive. And I know some that are really, really expensive are made with real hair. But when you've got health issues and you want to feel good about yourself, I mean, I have fibromyalgia. I have ME, which is chronic fatigue syndrome. I also have psoriatic arthritis. So my body is like, apart from my face, the only part of me that doesn't have it on, although I do have flare-ups and itchy skin from time to time. So I'm not completely free from my face, but I have it literally everywhere, arms, elbows. It's all where my arthritis is. My legs are the worst. I've got dressings on my legs because they are that severe. So painful. I have been given a spray. I've got it all on my back where my spine is, and going on to my hips. And onto my backside, for want of a better phrase. But, literally, I've got it everywhere. And it's just horrible. It took me several doctors, several dermatologists to actually to do anything. One was absolutely vile. He was a nasty piece of work. And I think he was just trying to get down his schedule of people with post-COVID. I mean, I know the hospitals, and I can appreciate that the hospital lists must be absolutely bursting at the seams with people needing to be seen, because with COVID, and obviously it's still there, that they're trying to get through the listings as quickly as possible. But this man, he was so rude. He wouldn't examine me properly or anything. And his attitude, it's just his general attitude just stunk. And because I've got so used to, it's like when I was fighting to get my diagnosis with fibromyalgia, I've got so used to some really, really shitty doctors. You get some that are fantastic, and then you get the ones that are like just awful, and they don't look like you're telling fibs, and they don't want to do anything, or they just want to give you a tablet and expect it to all go away. And he was just giving me the same old rubbish. So I had a cat hair on my face that was stuck to my foundation. Thank you. Some doctors seem to think that the patients come just because they don't have better things to do. Exactly. And it really did annoy me, because he was just so rude. I mean, there were times where he turned and he sort of half examined, and he says, "Oh, it's just eczema." And I thought, this isn't just eczema. I've had eczema, so I know what the difference is. This is something else. And he said that I'm to have light therapy, which basically I went to. The lady that was doing it, one of the nurses that was doing the light treatment, she looked at my skin. She looked at my legs. My legs are the worst area. They really are. They look like, well, I'm not going to put any pictures up or anything or show people, but they are extremely bad. I mean, they are caked in psoriasis. I hate sitting like this, even with my legs down, because when my legs are down, the circulation is like really, really agitated, and it sends them just burning. Yeah, it's normal that your knees are aging. It really does piss me off. And it's like when I was being, I went to my doctors because I knew that my health was just worsening, but I didn't know what it was. and a lady that I know really well. I wouldn't call her a friend. She's somebody that I know. I mean, she said to me, "You've got fibromyalgia. Go to the doctors and get it diagnosed." I was working, but I was really, really struggling with working. When I finished my shift, I mean, one time I had to go into where I worked at Asda, and I'd sat for 2 hours outside in my car and I had absolutely no energy. I just sat and cried when I finished my shift, and I had no energy to get back out the car again to go and top my gas and electric up. But eventually I did it, and I just struggled to walk, put one foot in front of the other. And yeah, I was really struggling with working, but I did do it. I struggled with getting in. Sometimes I actually would still be asleep when my shift was, I was waking up when my shift was finishing. They put me down as AWOL. And of course I was dragged upstairs more times as my health worsened and worsened, more times at work than I could care to remember. Over anything and everything, over appearance, over not smiling enough, over being late. You know, I was just constantly being pestered with work. And then it's like I wanted a diagnosis. And to have a doctor, I mean, I had one that literally gave me gabapentin on a prescription. I said I'm in severe pain all the time. I explained all my symptoms, think I've got fibromyalgia. She gave me gabapentin, and I said, on a prescription, and I said, "What's this for?" And she couldn't answer me. And I says, without a diagnosis, I says, I'm not taking anything like that because I don't know what I'm taking it for. And she says, well, it's up to you whether you take it or not. And I says, I want a diagnosis. I says, without a diagnosis, and I says, I'm sure it's rheumatology, that's what people had said, get yourself referred to rheumatology. I says, without seeing one of them, I says, I haven't got a diagnosis and I want to know what it is. And she says, aren't you going to take it? I says, no. So anyway, I went back out and I made another appointment with another doctor. It took 3 doctors to be believed. The right one that I went to was the last one in my doctor's surgery, and he's the only one now that I will actually go to. The others I can't stand. If it's something simple, then yeah, I'll see them. But apart from that, no. My doctor is the only doctor that I'll see. He drives me crackers, the others. And then, but yeah, getting back to, but yeah, I just say, just keep fighting for a diagnosis. If you've got something wrong with you and you're not happy with the outcome, keep fighting, keep pushing, be a pain, say I'm not satisfied, I really want to see someone else. I mean, this dermatologist, he referred me for light therapy, which basically, if you don't know what light therapy is like standing in an upright UV UV cupboard, like a sunbed, and it's compact. You stand in it, you stood holding on to these bars, you shut your eyes, and you're in there for about 2 minutes. And in that when I went in there, I says, that I'm terrified of enclosed spaces. I hate it. And, I gave it a go and I managed the 2 minutes. I was shaking when I come out, but I did it, and struggling to stand. That's better. But yeah, I was struggling to stand, but I did it. Anyhow, but the first one that I went to, the first nurse appointment for this light therapy, the lady that was there says, I don't think it's right for you, this. she looked at my skin on my legs and stuff, and she says, I don't think this is right for you. So we didn't go ahead. Stop it now! Hey! Stop it! Stop it! My cats, they're like kids, I tell you, they start squabbling. One's got a spot on the bed and the other one wants to jump up there. And she likes to get up a certain way because she's rather a large cat, but you know, she's been examined by the vet. She's got no health issues, but she's just naturally rounded and got a bit extra padding, like me, really. But yeah, the first nurse that I saw, yeah, so it's like one gets very possessive. Oh, Minnie, that's it. You climb up there, go in the window. That's it. The pair of them just do not get on. He's a younger cat, and he just likes the fact to he doesn't do anything, but he just likes to stare her out. And because she's rather large, she gets freaked out by it. So he quite likes the fact that she doesn't like it, and she goes a bit, has a meltdown. And yeah, so anyway, of course, it's sort of the pair of them just, it's just horrendous. And when they start, and she starts, and then he starts, he sits and stares at her, and I think just snap out of it. Oh dear, it's just never ending. But yeah, the first person that I went to was the dermatology nurse. One of my cats does that with one of my dogs. Tell you, they do it. It just is so annoying. It's like they don't do anything. I mean, another one that I've got, Gizmo. I think it's a male territorial thing. They're just buggers. I mean, he will chase her. And then she rolls on her back and she can't get back up again, and I have to help her sometimes. It's like, flipping heck. It does get a bit heated sometimes, but they do all get on in a weird kind of way. And she really enjoys it when he gets upset. Yeah, that's what bloody Alfie's like. So she absolutely hates him. I mean, sometimes I do think to myself, would she be better off as an only cat somewhere else? But, I don't know. But, you know, she's very much so a mum magnet. She loves sitting on me. She never used to until we moved here. And then suddenly she's a little Miss Needy. And I know because we've moved from a house to a flat. So it's like there's no stairway now. So there's no little bit extra. Yeah. So... But this flat is huge. It is a big flat, you know, don't get me wrong. It's not one of these pokey little things. Exactly. You know, Gizmo and Minnie. I mean, Gizmo is the first one that I had, and then Minnie came along a year later. And she, you know, when I first had them, well, I had Gizmo first, and then Minnie came along when we moved. Into our last house, and I was worried for her in case he hurt her. And in fact, I didn't need to worry. She was like the Tasmanian devil. She was spitting at him and everything. Really would hiss at him. So funny to watch. I never got any recordings, but my God, she was just like this ball of fire. It was hysterical. And it was like, come on, go away from my food, you know. I think he used to be terrified of her, and then as he grew, and obviously now that they're sort of caught up with each other, it's, a proper love-hate relationship, just like that. There's times where he and her are like sparring, and then there's other times where he's up to her and licking her head, and I'm like, what? So occasionally you might hear him kicking off in the background, but you know, she's all right now. She's gone in the window. She's found a sunspot. She's going to sit in there until someone comes up to her. But she is a big cat. I mean, she's massive. She is a big round girl. But she has been examined at the vets because I wanted to make sure she was okay. My mum says, she's not pregnant, is she? I says, no. She's been done as soon as she was old enough, and all these don't are exactly the same. They've all been done. I don't have any unneutered or unspayed cats. They're all done as soon as they're old enough. That's my house rule. They're done. But she can climb up on top of wardrobes and stuff. She's the most agile out of all of them. So I'm not too fussed, to be honest, so long as she's okay. And she's got no arthritis in her joints, I don't think, but I'll get her checked again when things have all calmed down and we've been on holiday and the expenses have sort of stopped. I'll just get her checked again. But she's fine. But yeah, getting back to dermatology, the first appointment at the light therapy session, the nurse said, "Oh, it's not right for you." Then I got sent back to this dermatologist, this vile, he's a nasty piece of work. I should have reported him, but I didn't. But I did complain to the nurses, and they looked like they're quite used to his manner and how rude he is. He then said, "I want you to have," he'd given me these same tablets, the same shite and creams to try, and he thought that this tablet that I've had before that did nothing was suddenly going to work. And I thought, well, I've had months of this tablet, months and months and months, and my skin condition's still here. And he was like, "You have not got psoriasis." And then it was like, "I want you to go for this light therapy session." When I went back, and lo and behold, I still had everything there. Yeah. So anyway, I went for this light therapy session. I thought, right, as I said to him, I kept saying that this nurse said that it's wrong for you. You shouldn't be having put down for this therapy session. And I turned up and they said, "We can give it a try." And I did go in the cabinet. I did try it, and my skin was on fire. I kid you not. So this nurse was right, and I says, "Well, she obviously was right, wasn't she?" And the one that was in charge gave me the look of like, yes. But it's like, I think they just had to tick a box just to say, well, we tried it, just to shut this dermatologist up. Then she referred the nurse. I said to her, I don't get on with this dermatologist at all. And she says, "I know you don't." So anyway, she put me in for somebody else. She pulled some strings, and I got seen by another dermatologist who said, "Yes, you do have psoriasis." I was like, "Thank you." So him screaming, "No, you haven't," and yes, I had. She was like, "Yeah, you've got psoriasis. What's the issue?" And I said, well, he was the issue. He was the fly in the ointment. I just wanted someone to say that I had what I thought I had. And I'm waiting. I've got rheumatology appointments to be seen about because they think it's psoriatic arthritis, but just wanted it confirming that it was psoriasis. So they could give me something to just help it a bit. I'm not expecting miracles, and this light therapy, if I did go in it, she did say it's not a long-lasting treatment. It just suppresses it for a few months. And that's that. So I thought, well, all the driving to and from the hospital that's not down the road, it's quite a drive away. Is it worth the sessions? Because it was just terrible. I was being wiped out when I got back, but I got on with it. I did what I had to do. But I've got hospital with rheumatology next week. But the dermatologist that I saw, she says, "Oh, I'm putting in for you to have some injections into your joints." I thought, you can bore off. I don't fancy that. I've already had injections for my arthritis in my feet and they didn't work. They were incredibly painful. They did absolutely nothing. And because I'm such a mixed bag of different complaints and issues, a lot of treatments aren't going to do anything. And I've had this all my life, you know. I'm a bit of an old bag and, you know, time's ticking on. And it's like I'm not expecting any miracle cures now. You know. But some doctors just bug the shit out of me. And if I'm not satisfied or I find them really rude or something, I will say something. I'm not the sort that just doesn't say anything. I do say, you know, how rude were you? I saw one doctor at a private hospital where you've got a mixed bag of NHS patients and they even have different waiting areas. The poor people stay away from the rich people. It's disgusting, I tell you. They had, there's us sweating away in this little waiting area with these really rubbish seats that have got no support and you're sitting on them and like, you know, you're sunk in the chair. And they had these really posh area with aircon and iced water and people running round after them and that. I thought, what a load of shit. And this one that I saw when he called me in, his attitude was just disgusting. And I did tell him in the next appointment, and I says that if I was a paying patient, I says the difference would have been absolutely shocking. So I don't care. I'll tell them. I'll tell anybody. They just annoy me so much. I'm just going to put some concealer on my eyes. I should put my light on, shouldn't I, really? I will in a minute. Just to oomph me up a bit. Let me just do this. Concentration. But yeah, what I say is that if you're trying to get a diagnosis for something and you're not happy with who you've seen, who you've been referred to seeing, for God's sakes, just push it. Push for something else, someone else. You know, don't take their answer as the final answer. You know, go back to whoever referred you in the first place and say you're not happy. I mean, my doctor sent the dermatologist, the really shitty one, a really shitty email because he wasn't doing anything to help me. My skin was just awful. It is bad. It's very, very bad. It's very, very angry. And when I've finished my live, because I've been sat with my legs down, because I keep them up, elevated as much as possible. So when I nip out somewhere for a bit, I know I'm going to be feeling really, really angry for being sat. Part of me is looking forward to when we go away on holiday. We're only going like locally, UK. We're going to sunny Wales. Going to Llandudno for a few days. Just a bit of a change of scenery. We've not been for a few years because obviously with all COVID rules and everything, we weren't able to go. We kept moving the time back and back again. And we're not going too far, but just for a few days, not a full week, because I can't manage it. 4 days away, 5 will be enough for me. You know, and just being doing different things and a different routine, because at home it's like you wake up differently. You've got everything here. It's just different in general. It will wipe me out. And I try and rest up. So it's like I'll go out for a bit and come back. And both of my parents are going, so at least my mum can have, because like last time we went, she come with me and my son, because I was freshly out of an abusive relationship, and it would have been like my abuser would have been with us. So she took his place. Yeah, so she took his place. So when she did that, it's, it made it a different holiday. A lot better. It was nice. It was nice. Now him with us, he just made holidays just hell. No enjoyment. So yeah. But she liked to be up and out and doing stuff, and but I said, well, for me, this is not what it's about. For me, it's about just a change of scenery. It was good, don't get me wrong, but when you're somebody that sort of is used to people wanting to do stuff, and I was like, I just take it one bit at a time. I'm going, sun's gone in, it suddenly just went very dark. There we go, that's a bit better. So I just like a bit of a chillax, casual mooch around a few shops and stuff like that. I'll be interested to see what the vegan options are with me being vegan, and I shall take plenty of nibbly things with me just in case. I love this palette. This is from Revolution. I love it. I just put this on just to a bit of a base for the next colour, otherwise it doesn't go on the same. Just in case someone's thinking, what is she doing? There is no fast rules with makeup. It's, yeah. Everybody's got their own way of putting makeup on. The way I put it on might not be the way that somebody else puts it on, or the way that someone else puts their makeup on might not be the same way that I put mine on. Everybody's got their own little ways of doing stuff. So there we go. I'm thinking a bit of a nice pink and yellow, and let's do it. I'm loving my lippies from Spoil Cosmetics. Absolutely love them. Going in with this yellow. So cute. I like these. I do want to get some new palettes and stuff. It's just money at the minute. Everything's just a bit pants, isn't it? Affording it all. But hey, we'll get there. I've got a cat with thyroid issues, so at the minute he is like having money on spent on him left, right and bloody centre, but hey ho, you know. He needs what he needs at the end of the day. He does need surgery. He needs an operation on his mouth. His teeth, his mouth is absolutely rotten all around his gums. But because he's got such, his thyroid is really going mental, and his weight is like all over the place. He's dropped a lot of weight. So the vet was like, we can't operate on him until he's looking, you know, his weight's put on, basically. Yeah. I'll blend that in a minute. I just want to dot it on for a sec. I'll use a different brush. But yeah, because his weight is dropped and he does look, he's not as round as he once was. He was a little chunk. Oh, thank you. I do try. But yeah, he is an old boy now. I just keep trying with him. Give him what he wants, basically. He is an old lad. I don't know his exact age because he wasn't with me from the beginning. Yeah, he wasn't with me from the very beginning, so I don't know his exact age. We think he was dumped in the village where we lived, and he sort of would visit houses and scream, you know, for food and that, and people used to feed him. And then the winter months were coming, the autumnal winter months. I used to see him sleeping in the hedges at the end of the road where I lived. And he clearly wasn't owned. I mean, the state of him. He had fleas on him, he had ticks, he was just in the most disgusting, you know, he just was in the most disgusting condition. And I felt so sorry for him, and I thought, right, you're coming home with me, you're staying. I asked on Facebook, and usually village people, they know everybody's business. Even when you don't know people, the gossip still spreads. And I just decided, right, that's it then. I asked, and somebody said to me, you own him. So I was like, right, because it's like going to start. It was pouring it down on one of the days that he turned up, and I didn't have the heart to just let him back out, because he used to come round and pinch from my cat's bowls when they used to go out. And that's where it all started. And he was always turning up. And at first I never liked to feed him, but then he was so apparent that he wasn't owned. I mean, the state of him just, you know, you sort of know when you see a cat that's turning up, you know, whether they've got an owner that lives X amount of streets away or whatever. But this one, and I never feed anybody's cat that's not mine, you know, and he was just in such a state. So I thought, right, that's it. And it was absolutely throwing it down, and he was sat waiting outside for me. The state of him was just so sad. So I was like, right, come on. And I shut him in the utility room, and there he stayed. And then he came up I brought him up with me, so he wasn't on his own. My cats were wondering what the hell was going on. And then the next day he was taken to the vets and had all his little friends removed, and There we are. And he's such an amazing cat. He's got such a loving personality. He really, really has. He is. He's just beautiful. He's absolutely gorgeous. He just loves people. And it's like, if I have any workmen that have to come here or anything, he's like, just let me cover you in cat hairs. You know, he goes around people's ankles, whether some of these workmen like it or not. Some of them don't like it and they're like really mardy. But he's just very, very friendly. He's just naturally just very friendly. He's just such a lovely lad. Sometimes he gets annoying, but I know it's all the thyroid that is, you know, can't help how he is. And I just say to my son, just fuss him, because we don't know how long he's going to be here for. You know, the day that these meds don't do anything enough and the body takes over fully. Because I've had a lot of cats come and go over the years. So I know the old cat syndrome situation, that you just make the most of them. My eldest cat that I had lived until a week off her 22nd birthday. She was stunning. She was the only good thing to come out of my last abusive relationship, because he was his mother's cat. And when she passed, Nina came to me eventually. He brought her to me when literally Nina was virtually dead. She had fleas all over her. Every inch was covered in black. She was a calico, so she had a lot of white and ginger and black, and she was just stunning. And every inch of her, you know, any little wrinkly bits, like little where the nose is and stuff, was black. And if you touched it, it moved. You know, they were zapping every inch of her. She was anemic. I had her as an emergency at my vet's, and they sorted her out. But yeah, I'm really, really used to the old cats and seeing them change. And the last one that I had going through stuff was, I had him put to sleep. My Bob, my ginger cat, November, I had him put to sleep. He was, never thought that I'd be putting him to sleep before Christmas. I thought he would have been okay till about well and truly after Christmas. I mean, even the vets, they were like, we'll see him again after the new year. But his body decided to shift from, being stable with his kidneys, and he had kidney issues. It was like, it's not too deteriorated yet, but it's funny how they can change from being reasonable to a week after they'd done tests on him and I'd paid for all that. He was hiding away down the side of my TV unit, and I'd be like, what are you doing down there? And when he come out, his face was all swollen. His eyes were like little slits. And he just looked uncomfortable. And I got him booked in at the vet's, and I had him put to sleep. I thought, this is it. Your body's decided enough's enough. And it had gone from being stable to serious very, very quickly. So I know how quickly the body can change in cats. where you think that they're going to be all right. Oh yeah, we'll have him. He'll be here for months yet. You know, but I just no. He was very, very poorly. And him sitting down the side, it was like when they go off to die. That was the same kind of thing. And he would come out, and it was a Sunday afternoon. So what I did was, I thought I'm going to have to phone the vets up first thing in the morning. I can't afford the emergency vets to come out. I felt awful because I couldn't afford it. And I thought I'll ring them up and speak to them in the morning. So I literally had him on me all night. His mouth had swollen up. Oh, thank you. I'm off to the lake with kids. You look great. Awesome vegan beauty activism. Thank you. Thanks ever so much. Hope you're well, vegan bad bitch. Hope you're well. I know you've been through shit as well, so I hope you're doing good. Enjoy your time with the kids, and yeah. But yeah, thanks for dropping by. But yeah, it's amazing how they can change very, very quickly, and that's what I did. I just had him on me. I did what I had to do, and then I thought, right, I know I'm not going to be able to move. And that's exactly what I did. I had him on me all night. His mouth had gone from being reasonable to his gums, because he was so dehydrated, because his kidneys were not working. They were like, oh, thank you, all the best to you. You too, girl. You know, they were like dropping out of his mouth. It was horrible to see. He was really struggling. He was drinking masses of water, but he wasn't weeing. And I was half preparing for him to lose bladder control and stuff, but he didn't. And then I phoned up the vets the next morning, first thing. And they said, oh, we've got no availability. And I was like, you're joking. So anyway, I got booked in at another vet's of theirs. So I had a bit of a drive, which was really, really shite, and I wasn't impressed. But they are amazing. They did arrange for me to pay after on another day. They don't normally allow that, but because it's an acute emergency, you know, it was like, yeah, we'll sort this out another time, the payment. So that was good. And that's exactly what happened. I did, just putting a little dot of this lime green. I friggin' love this. And I'm going to do under eye in just a second. But yeah, but that's what I did. I had him on me all night, phoned them first thing. They said, oh, we've got no... I said, but he's dying. He needs putting to sleep. You know, the vet's is like 2 minutes down the road in the car. But they had no availability. I was like, come on. So, and then she even, the lady on the phone even asked one of the head vets, and they said no, which I think is just really, really bad. So anyway, I had to drive him, like a bit of a drive, and that's far enough when you're in acute pain. And I was driving, so I couldn't cuddle him or anything, and it was really, really difficult, and he was really struggling to have his eyes open. But anyhow, this vet that I went to, I mean, I just hate with vets how they try to push as much money out of you as possible, just putting some purple on under the eye. It's called Raisin. Yeah, they put them under the eye. The vet that I saw, he was like, you know, yes, he is puffy, and it looks like his kidneys are shutting down completely. I mean, his legs were swollen up as well. And I had this with Nina, my eldest cat at the time, that was like 22, nearly 22. And she, again, I knew it was that. And she got put to sleep. And he was going through the exact same thing. And anyway, you know, it's like, can see he's in so much, you know, discomfort. And he did fight the vets right at the bitter end, you know, because they were like wanting to shave his paw and stuff. I'm like, for God's sakes, just make him comfortable. Don't. And they were like, oh, we can do blood tests on him if you want and send him home. I'm like, you know, I'm not going to spend an absolute fortune on more blood tests when he's literally giving up now. He wants to go. I don't like sitting here watching him suffering, and I want him at rest. I want him at peace. I just thought, I can't believe it. You're actually telling me I can do blood tests on him and send him home if you want. He's had all the blood tests under the sun. I'm not putting him through it again. And then he says, oh, very wise decision. The only thing that I liked about that particular vet is the fact that they've got like a screen when I was in the waiting area that changes, you know, with all sorts of happy birthday to Daisy Dog and all the rest of it. You know, and the bit that got me, and because I saw someone going in to one of the rooms, because they keep cat and dog rooms separate and cat and dog waiting areas separate. The one thing that got me was this screen that I was sort of watching whilst I was talking to Bob, and he was on this cat chair, cat area that, you know, at the table that was at the right height so they could see what was going on, so they're not on the floor. And this screen suddenly changed to a candle that was burning, and I thought, oh. And then the notice with it said that when this candle is burning, can anybody that's in the waiting area be quiet, because another pet is passing. That just had me an absolute bucket, I tell you. I was sobbing my heart out with that. And then this couple came out of this room with one dog, but there was also a collar, and a lead. So obviously they'd just let go of one of their pets, companion animals. It was really emotional. And then I went in with Bob and I had him, like, you know, put to sleep. So I'm just making the most with Charlie, because I think I'll be making that decision again soon. But how long we've got him for, who knows? It's impossible to say. When you've got an old pet, companion animal, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, when you've got an elderly one, that is, you know, you're sort of looking after them and keeping them going, and you see the changes, you see the weight changes, you see how they're doing, and you just want the best for them, don't you? I mean, I don't want him suffering, and when it gets to the stage of, like, he's really, really struggling, that's when I'll let him go. But for the time being, it's like, it's really hard. It's harder when they are more able, you know. It's like one of mine, she had severe arthritis, and she probably had thyroid issues as well, but she suddenly dropped lots and lots of weight. but she was in that much pain with her arthritis. I had to let her go. Oh, she was a lovely old bird. It really was. But you know, but I've had cats of all different ages. Yeah, cats of all different ages, you know, where I've had to have them put to sleep for whatever reason, you know, the same as people. It's like you've got no guarantee on the age. Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean that you're going to be okay. You just do your best. I'm not the best at wings, but I do try my best with these things. Wigs. I'm hoping to have to leave. Hope to see you soon. Thank you. Thanks ever so much. Thanks for popping on, for being here, for any likes. It's really appreciated. But yeah, I've got my sexy wig cap on. No idea which one I'm going to wear today. None at all. I have 5 wigs. I have a mental shopping list, I tell you, for several more. I can't wait to get my next one. I do have a few that I've got in mind, and I'm torn between a couple for my next one. They're not perfect, but they'll have to do. If I start tweaking, if I start messing with my wings, you know, I've done this before where I'm like, oh, that's more over than that one, or that's fatter than that one, because your eye shapes are different. One's bigger than the other, and it's to do with the hole where your eye is, basically. Don't like talking about things like this, skulls and things, but yeah, your sizing of your eyes are not the same. They're not identical, and your shape is not identical. But I just think if I start messing too much with my wings and start tweaking and stuff, that's when things start going wrong. So I'm just going to leave it there, I think. I'm going to leave it there. Because if I start messing, I can guarantee they look reasonable, but they're not the same shape. But hey ho, just ignore that little bit. Bit of glitter. Why's that drawer open? What are you doing, Min? Let's get some glitter on the go, eh? My look is nearly done, but I still like to add a bit of sparkle, a bit of bling before I'm done. I've got some gems coming, some little flat back gems. Because I've seen some looks, you know, where they have little gemstones going around the outside on the top of the eye, and I'm thinking, oh, that's pretty. Do like that. So that is my plan. I've got some coming. I've seen some really pretty ones. But I am gonna give it a go. I just like to put a little bit of sparkle on the cheek area, just a little bit, just here, just next to my highlight. That's just me. I just like to do that sort of stuff. And then I've got some which I'll pop on my eye as well. I do. I love a bit of bling. bit of sparkle. I got myself some hair clips from Jaylee Cosmetics, and they are absolutely beautiful, and they're perfect because they sit in my wing, in my wings. I'm obsessed with wings. In my hair, in my wigs. Wigs. That's what I was trying to say, not wings. But I'm going to be probably wearing one of my multicoloured hairs. I had a little girl when I was coming back from Asda. She said, Daddy, that lady's been touched by a unicorn. I was like, oh my God, how cute. I've been touched by a unicorn. So funny. Right. Yeah, I'm slightly obsessed with glitter. I just love it. If you look up Profanity Cosmetics, his glitter is outstanding. I absolutely love it. I've got a few bits and bobs from him now, and I need to order some more. His stuff is incredible. Here we are. See? I like it. Just love a bit of sparkle. Bit of bling. Whether I'm going anywhere or not, I just don't feel dressed without a bit of sparkle on my eyeballs. Just love it. Absolutely love it. So nice. It just makes me feel, just gives me a bit of a lift. And this is why I like doing, I started doing my makeup November of last year. I'm 3 years free from domestic abuse. 2.5 of it was spent with him stalking me. So I didn't feel free. He knew he did know my whereabouts, where I was living and stuff. And I think he was watching me from afar because we had a field behind the house. You know, so he could know where I was and stuff. It's a little fly in here. I'm like, come on, get out of my face. Let's put some pink on, I think, on the outer corner, some pressed glitter that I've got. Yeah. So anyway, when we moved, it's like gave me a bit of freedom, and it gave me that feeling of like, yeah, he doesn't know where we are, which is amazing. He still stalks my YouTube channel, so it's like I have to be careful what I put on there, because there are a few prominent buildings that would give me away. And I don't want to do that. You know, I'm doing my best to start again, and I don't fancy raking him up. So, anyway, that's that bit done. But yeah, he got given a warning by the police, basically, to leave me alone. And so that was good. Let me forgot to put a bit of something above the eyeball, just below my brow, so let's use a bit of this. Is it doing anything? Not really. Right, let's do something. Crystal Waves, let's use you. You've got more oomph about you. I want to get a highlight from Lab Cosmetics. Their highlight is phenomenal. And it is vegan and cruelty free, by the way. That's it, that's gotcha. Just what I want. There we go. Next bit. Got so many brushes now waiting to be cleaned. Where are we? There we go. Bit of mascara on. Just a little bit. And I'll put my lashes on in a bit if I can get them on. But yeah, he had a warning from the police basically to stay away. And then he hasn't pestered me since. So my abuser that was. So November last year was where I finally felt like I'd just left the abusive relationship and I could start a bit of a healing process. I know you never get over it, domestic abuse, but I just poked my eye. That's really clever. But it's like you can start to find you again. And I'm loving being somewhere completely new because it means like the memories of where walls have got smashed, doors that got holes in and stuff, where he used to go in a rage and put his fist through things, is no longer here. You know, it's all new stuff. It's starting again. And it felt great. Yeah, it felt amazing. Are these dry now? If not, I can't use them, but they look okay. I washed these yesterday, my lashes from Jaylee Cosmetics. Just a quick wash. Can't grab hold of the bloody thing now. Come on, there we go. Yeah. Yes, I washed these yesterday. I gave them a clean. And they've come up like new. So I'm like, perfect. Just sort the band out. Nice. Happy, happy. So yeah, I started finding a bit of me again. I've never really liked being on my own company or anything. So that's how I ended up in abusive relationship after abusive relationship. I seem to attract these vile specimens called a man. But sort of, I'm starting to adapt to that idea. I don't want another man, basically. I'm done with them. It's put me right off. So there's my eyes for today. I don't look too bad. Come on. Let me try and pop you on now. So my hands start shaking. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. think it might be. See, when I washed them yesterday, I think it's to do with the band as well. Oh, come on, my hands don't want to work. The pressure is on. It's harder when you've got people watching. I think so anyway. There we go. Oh dear, come on now. They are playing ball. Hey. These are called the shoulder wink lashes anyway, from Jaylee Cosmetics. A lot of her stock at the moment is all out of stock. I mean, she has got some left, but not many. And I know that the shipping from the US to the UK, you've got to add that into the equation when you are buying them. But these are synthetic, by the way. They do look and feel very, very good. I absolutely love them. There we go. But the difference between with and without, you know, it just finishes the eye off. I absolutely love them. I know I could do with some of those lash curl things. I'm going to have to get some. I haven't bought any yet. I put off, I tell you, those metal squeezy contraptions. I have tried one as a kid. I think they're one of the things that I bought when I had a Saturday job as a teenager. And I thought, oh, I'll get some of that. I've got a few bits of makeup. And somebody laughed when I put some on, because I randomly just decided to start doing it. And that was it. It put me off. But I did try these eye contraptions, these eyelash curler things, and I squeezed the life out of I pinched my eyelid, so that was it for me. And I've been traumatised by the experience ever since. But I don't know. I have seen a few people using them and I'm like, oh, don't they pinch your lids? And they're like, you've just got to be very careful. It can happen. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can cope with that. I don't know. So we'll see. My glue that I'm using is iLaw lash glue. It's marked up vegan and cruelty free. It's latex free as well. So I like it. It's really good. You can easily get it as well. It's sold at Asda and supermarkets. So, but yes, I gave these a wash. I was there. I was watching another live, and I said, "Oh, I'm going quiet at the minute because I'm washing my lashes." Right. But yeah, the trick is, I mean, people get a bit scared by glue and lashes, and they said, oh, that I've tried putting them on, they don't work for me. You put your glue on, you give it 20 seconds, and then, you know, and then put them on when they're virtually tacky. If you try putting them on when they're still wet, they are not going to stick. And then you want to have your mirror sort of below you at an angle, so you're almost looking downwards, and then go for it. I wish I could show you more with obviously me on camera, but I'm having to sort of get in close to my mirror because I'm as blind as a bloody bat without my glasses on. So or my son would say you're blind as a bat with them on anyway. But that's the trick anyway, to basically, yeah, put your glue on, give 20 seconds, and then put them on your eyes. That's it. There you go. done. And these are just gorgeous. But these are them anyway. So these are from J. Cosmetics. These are the shoulder wink lashes. And they're absolutely stunning. As you can see, they're more fuller this side and they go less fuller in front. These are perfect for glasses wearers like me. So I just thought I'd show you. I've got a couple of pairs of these. But I will get some more styles as well. I just want to get a few, you know, different ones in. So when I fancy a change, if I fancy them a bit more fuller, you know, then they're there. But I think they're just gorgeous. There is a piece of lash that is super, super long on that. Let me just trim it. Can I get it? There we go. But the lashes are fantastic. I absolutely love them. And they're really easy to apply. When you are fitting them to your eye, and I found these were massive for my eyes, I had to trim down, because you go for the thicker, like the outer edge of your eye. So you wouldn't go for, when you're putting them on this bit of the lash, you go for here. And you just trim them with a pair of nail scissors. You can get like kits for lashes. Primark do like a little pack, I think, with scissors in for lashes and that. But I just use regular nail scissors, nothing fancy. Just something very fine tipped is all you want, and then just cut so much off. So you don't want over, you know, it going too far over. But these are the shoulder wink lashes. I think they're $11. I have to Google to have the amount, you know, sort of converted into pounds, because I'm no good at trying to work it all out. But they are outstanding. But she will have more in stock again. You know, she is producing new lines for her brand. Latex-free sponges and all sorts of stuff. So I would imagine that all her supplies of stuff, and when things sell out, they're never sold out for long. She always has a new amount of things back in stock. So she's definitely worth checking out. But that's what I've used for today. A bit of this one. And a bit of this one from Revolution. That's MUA. So there we go. And that, as they say, is that. I don't know what lippy I'm going to put on. I've got absolutely no idea whatsoever. Let me just. That's the beast I want. See, I can't see without my glasses on. Right, that'll be with that. Let me just put some finishing powder on. Yeah, I can't believe a friend of mine, she did the challenge yesterday, well, last night. I was up till about 7 o'clock this morning watching her with this challenge, because she's over in the States. The 100 layers TikTok challenge. Absolutely nuts. Won't catch me doing it. Her face by the end of it was just like thick, so thick with foundation. And the lippy had all gone all set and weird. It was horrible. I was like, rather you than me. So, spoiled lips are absolutely amazing. I love, love, love their lippies. Sorry. I'm just tidying up a little bit. Just make some room. Don't know what lippy to go for. Just like something very, very pretty. I'm thinking this one. This is pretty. This is called Boy Bye. Yeah, Boy Bye. I love this one. And you could put a lip gloss over the top of this. It does come. These are super, super tiny. Look at them. Mm. Ah. There we go. There we go. Ta-da! Complete. Right. That looks all right. Right. I don't know which one I'm going to wear for today, but for the time being, I will put this one on just to finish the look off. What's going on here? No idea. I'll brush out in a minute, whatever it is. Tiny bit of floof. Right. Come on. And this one. Let me just. There we go. Ta-da! Right. That's it. So there we go. Today's look complete. Right, I'm going to shoot off. Thanks, guys, for watching. And until next time, bye.